My name is Clara Linton, and I am 37 years old, living in Haverford, New Hampshire. I have been in the workforce for a significant period, gaining experience, and I worked as a manufacturing engineer for a fishing company, a job I had held for almost 5 years. I dedicated my time to helping implement new packaging lines while also taking on the responsibilities of a process engineer after that individual left. My days were long and grueling, often stretching to 16 hours, and I was on call all hours of the day and night. I thought that my dedication and hard work would propel me upward within the company's ranks. However, that was not how things turned out. My attitude was positive, but it seemed to ignite a fire in my manager that I could not comprehend. Yes, I called him douchehead manager because that is exactly how he made me feel. I could not figure out why he singled me out for criticism, often undercutting my ideas in front of others only to hand those very same ideas to colleagues to execute. My coworkers began to express concern for my well-being as I downed 2 to 3 cans of energy drink each day. It seemed like the more effort I put in, the more he wanted out of me. Then came the first day of the month in April 2015. I reported to work, ready to tackle the teardown of a production line that was long overdue. I could hear murmurs echoing down the hallway, tension thick in the air as people were called into the HR office. Confusion washed over me as I walked to speak with my friends at work, and their wide eyes told me something was off. As I made my way back to my cubicle, I noticed a woman from accounting exiting the building, her face streaked with tears, a box of her personal belongings clutched tightly in her arms as she was escorted away. The feeling of dread climbed into my throat as I continued, and suddenly I heard my name being called. Clara Linton. My heart sunk. I could feel the pit of disappointment in my stomach. My efforts had been in vain. I walked into the HR office, my mind racing with disbelief, and was met with the cold words of a position elimination lecture. They informed me I had lost my job, my health insurance, and received a mere 4 months of pay. I was crushed. I had never received any negative feedback or been placed on a performance improvement plan. Douchehead manager just had to eliminate someone from the engineering department, and I was the unfortunate victim of his irrationality. I was escorted back to my desk while tears cascaded down my cheeks, the voice of my packaging engineering friend ringing in my ears. "This is pure nonsense." As he walked me out, Douchehead did not even have the decency to face me directly. He sent his lackey to handle what should have been a personal issue. To add insult to injury, my birthday was the following day. My world felt like it was crumbling. As the day progressed, news continued to spread about additional layoffs. One from each department and a few in management who were close to retirement. Within that group of people, 90% were women, including 2 of my best friends at work. We discovered the conglomerate that ran our company was undergoing a sale, and we were simply collateral damage meant to make the financials presentable. I could not wrap my mind around why I had been the one chosen from engineering. There was a guy only a year from retirement and another coworker who was on a performance improvement plan, both willing to leave if it meant giving me a chance. I was left feeling shattered and utterly lost. After taking the day to mourn my situation, and yes, I celebrated my birthday that evening with drinks alongside my friends, I got back to business. I feasted on job listings, poring over opportunities that awaited. A month later, I landed a new job, and it was everything I desired and more. I was working in an environment where the energies were positive, and I actually felt valued. But the cherry on the top of my tail was yet to come. A mere 6 months later, one morning, the plant director called me into his office. His workspace was only about 15 feet from my cubicle, so I knew him well. As I walked in with a smile, he looked up, which was unusual for a Monday morning. He said, "Clara, I have a resume for the plant manager position. You used to work at that fishing place, didn't you?" I nodded affirmatively, an instinctive smile on my face. He then asked, "Did you know or work with douchehead manager?" I nodded again, and the director probed further. How was it working for him? My thoughts raced back to the torment, the dread I felt every day coming to work for him, and I couldn't help myself. I responded, "He was an okay person, but he was a really great bus driver, if you get what I mean." His reaction was priceless. He lifted the paper, revealing douchehead's resume to me, and I instantly felt a rush of disbelief. The director explained, "He was let go on the same day you were." My jaw nearly dropped to the floor. Right then, without hesitation, he took douchehead's resume, ripped it into tiny shreds, and tossed it in the wastebasket. With an air of satisfaction, he affirmed, "That is all I needed to hear," and I walked out, surreal as it all was. Douchehead had been struggling with unemployment, and unbeknownst to him, I had unwittingly orchestrated one of the most satisfying acts of revenge. My heart swelled with vindication. I continued to thrive in my new role, the days now filled with exhilarating challenges and a supportive team. As for Douchehead, news of his downfall spread within industry circles, and while he shambled around, I quietly celebrated my sweet victory away from the harshness of my past. As I settled into my new normal, I realized that sometimes life has a funny way of ensuring that justice does not go unpunished. I discovered that I had been down but never truly out, and it turns out that karma plays its part. Who knew that in the end, the tables would turn in such a poetic manner? And with that knowledge, I walked forward, excited for all the opportunities awaiting me.